Chapter 20, Yua Nakatomi aka Pink Lotus. Rudra untied the hostages one by one. The girls hugged each other and cried their hearts out. They thanked Rudra profusely for saving them all. They were all hostages kidnapped by the merchant to be part of his entourage. They were forced to act a part as the merchant's subordinates and play amicable to the villagers to fool them. They were poisoned, with the antidote only given if they fooled everyone in Thal village. The merchant wanted to poison everyone in Thal village as an experiment. Would the church be able to cure the infection? Or would the people die, and with the spread of this incident people would start questioning the power of the Church of Light? If the church cured it, they would at max gain the belief of a small village like Thal. If they failed, he could poison people at the capital, creating a crisis for the church. It was a sinister plot well thought out by the merchant. When Rudra questioned them about the organization behind the merchant, they said they didn't know much. However, one day after leaving Thal village they were all given the antidote to the poison, but also a heavy sedative, after which they woke up yesterday tied up to this pole. And the merchant seemed to be performing a ritual. It seemed like a demon summoning ritual. Whichever organization was behind this incident, it was extremely difficult to deal with if they had information over such ancient rituals as well as a page from the demon's diary. Well, the main quest line can be solved by those who care. I only did the quest for the rewards with the church, thought Rudra. He genuinely did not wish to care about the bigger picture. All that mattered to him were his ambitions, and that's that. Well, time to go back to the capital. Meanwhile, Nakatomi Corporation. Mr. Nakatomi was the billionaire CEO of the Nakatomi Corporation, and he was the father of Yua Nakatomi aka Pink Lotus, the guild leader of Azure Lotus. Greetings, Papa, you summoned me. Mr. Nakatomi was a stone-cold businessman, but towards his daughter he was soft, so soft that he only wanted her happiness and nothing more, not money, not power, only his daughter to be happy. He never mentioned it, but the only reason he kept working and earning billions was for him to fulfill his daughter's every wish. He wasn't always like this, but ever since his wife died in a car crash, his daughter had become the focal point of his life. From the ruthless businessman he became a soul father, and that changed him a lot. He helped her create the Azure Lotus, hiring professional gamers, believing that she would be happy with her passion of playing games. He said, "I have inside news about the game. 4 days from now the auction house will open in the Omega game, and the UN have approved of the in-game currency of gold coins to be approved as a global currency. It will by all means and purposes be a real currency. Meaning that the in-game gold can be converted to any global currency at the stable exchange rate. It will rise and fall like real currency depending on the player base demand and supply. Omega will attract a lot of new players now that money can be earned from the game, plus the fact that you can play the game when you are asleep. It is certain that at least 90% of the world population will now enter the game in the coming 6 months. This is the largest market created yet, worth trillions of dollars, much more than any social media or platform. It is a second reality. Every big corporation will enter it for publicity or control or to farm money. The game you played for fun will no longer be just for fun. You need to be prepared." Yua was stunned silent for a while. She was both impressed by her father's far-sightedness and information-gathering capabilities and excited about the future possibilities. This is a huge sector where lots of money can be made. Naturally, the Nakatomi Corporation also wants a piece of this pie. "I have decided to inject $500 million into the game for now. It is your time to shine, my daughter. If you can run your guild well and build a sturdy foundation, we may lose money for a year or two, but we will reap a lot of benefits later on. I know you started this game for fun, so I won't force it on you, but what do you think?" Yua was naturally extremely happy. She had wanted to join the company and help her father since forever. However, her father had never let her, saying the business world was not for his cute little Lotus, yet Pink Lotus was the nickname her father gave her. And she was embarrassed, yet she had adopted it wholeheartedly. Now having the opportunity to do something for the company and her father, she naturally agreed. Determined to not let her father down. Mr. Nakatomi smiled. Seeing his daughter so determined reminded him of himself and his wife. Her determination was just like him in his youth, while her cute looks were definitely from her mother. Sigh, he wished she was here today to see their daughter. "Okay then, here are some potential players and guilds you can start cooperating with. There is information on the back about their backings and internal structures. Meet those you need to meet in real life at our office to discuss collaboration. Meet those who want to talk at their office in game. The essence of cooperation is suppression. Suppress them with home ground advantage to make them concede more. That way the worst you will do is going neutral. And suppressing them with your aura and disposition. A business is professional and it needs you to be courteous but cold, you understand? Yes, father, replied Yua. She was so happy her father was teaching her the ins and outs of business. She carefully looked through the information files prepared by her father. There were so many files. It was astounding, as although the game had been running for almost 4 weeks now, the first guild had yet to emerge officially. Even she herself needed a day more for the guild token to fall into her hands, and yet her father had all the information about all the potential guilds. It is because although guilds had not formed in Omega, most well-established esports players already had sponsors and guilds. The half-immersive game Royal Road also had a huge fan following back in the 2090s, with many guilds and organizations. File full of third-rate guilds, players to poach, as third-rate guilds were not worth working with. A file full of second-rate guilds, to subordinate, as they were not their equals yet useful enough to keep under a thumb. A file full of first-rate guilds, possible collaboration. It depended, as they could be allies or could be rivals. It not only depended about in-game mechanics but also real-world backers. If their backers were business rivals or at odds, so would their guilds. Then there was a file for the super guilds, backed by the 6 trillionaries. There were 6 super guilds, backed by the 6 trillionaries in the world. They were absolutely massive and legit. If they competed for something, it was understood to be theirs. No questions asked. Yet even the super guilds needed support and would rely on first and second-rate guilds for information, manpower and resources. First-rate guilds demanded respect even from super guilds. Of course they were no match for them, but that did not mean they were looked down on. And lastly, there was a file of special entities, who were decided to be random variables. There were 25 people on that list, including Neatwit, but topping the list was none other than Rudra as Shikuni. Huh, Dad, I know this guy. He is a friend in game. Mr. Nakatomi's eyes widened, although there were 25 people on the list. Shikuni's accolades put him in a league of his own. Mr. Nakatomi was both surprised and happy that his daughter was so competent as to befriend the mysterious Shikuni. As far as he knew, no one knew properly who he was or his origins. He asked, "Can you recruit him? Make him the vice guild master if you have to." Yua sighed. How badly did she want to, but no, she knew he was a man of his own. No, he has his own plans. Mr. Nakatomi frowned, but then he said, "He is quite capable. His friendship will be valuable, invest in him. He is suspected of being from common origins. If that is the case, then provide him with help and security. Being genuine is the only way to win over such guys." Yua agreed. She did have a date with him tomorrow. What she did not tell her father was that she had a slight crush on Rudra, hence why she asked him out. Never before had she done something like that. Well, even if he was from a common background, it was nothing to look down on anymore. With Omega opening the auction house, it was only a matter of time after which someone of his caliber would rise from the masses. "Let's have a nice chat tomorrow, Mr. Shikuni." Yua blushed, excited. Chapter 21, Dealing with his identity crisis. After returning to Purple Haze City, Rudra quickly checked in the best 5-star hotel he could find. It costed 7 gold a night to stay in such ins, however he did it anyway as he would be logging out today for long hours. Rudra needed a safe place to live in, and he needed it now. Rudra was part of Country X, where corruption was rampant, as well as the competitor Advani S had a massive foothold in. Not a single high-level official would help him in this country. Best case scenario, they would turn a blind eye to the actions of Mr. Advani. Worst case, they would take action themselves, framing and imprisoning him of crime he never committed. He decided to immigrate to the safest country with the best government, Country J. P.S. Yua is in Country J. Country J had an area in City T for the uber-rich people. The starting price of mansions in that area was $200 million. That area was called the Upside and was heavily guarded, with entry restricted to only extremely limited people. The area was under high-tech security protocols as well as under aerial drones and manual human patrol. It was not easy to infiltrate, much less warrant a visit from unwanted people. The Upside guaranteed security and privacy and was created by one of the 6 trillionaries, the resident of Country J himself, hence Noon would want to offend such a personality. The only problem was you needed status to buy a house in the Upside. Even if he had the money, will his resume be accepted? The only way he stood even the most remote of chances to be accepted was if he divulged his identity as Shikuni in Omega. He did not want to do it, however he had no alternatives. It was only a matter of time before people pouring manpower and money into his identity will learn about him. He browsed through their site and none of the 200 million mansions were available anymore. The cheapest one costed 220 million. He applied for it gritting his teeth. If he got approved, he needed to transfer payment within 48 hours, which meant he needed to liquidate the platinum in game soon. With that done, he also made a backup plan to run to country E and a third plan to run to country F, although both of them were significantly worse plans than going to the upside, as security was not guaranteed, neither was anonymity. However, it would still be out of Advani's reach. Rudra cursed hard as he now needed to flee the country because of a stupid mistake of standing out. He was too hasty in stepping on Advani's tail. He was not strong enough yet. He had to run. The biggest problem now was how to convince the family. Rudra took his cycle to home, as today was a Sunday. Both his father and brother would be at home. Sigh, I can't make out if that is a good thing or a bad thing. On his way home, he thought about a million possible lies he could tell to convince his parents to move with him. He made a plan A, B, C, all the way to drugging his parents and shipping them using private jets. Plan Z. Either way, they would be leaving the country in 2 days. Meanwhile, Advani multinational. Secretary Zhang entered Mr. Advani's office. Sir, we have solid information on the identity of the player who humiliated your son Nitin in public, causing the company a loss of face as well a lot of money. Who is it? Who is that bastard? Sir, he is the player named Shikuni, the same one who has a lot of accolades in the game, Omega. Mr. Advani went silent for a while. Are you sure? Yes, sir, the mercenaries we hired in game tried to get information on how the player got a stall and was selling his armors. The only way to get a stall was through administration office in the capital. While they went there, they demanded protection for their stall like the player had, but were rejected. Upon causing a ruckus about differential treatment, they were told the protection was there as the player was none other than Viscount Shikuni. The name Shikuni along with his Viscount status would mean the player is not your average Joe, which narrows it down to one man. Mr. Advani was troubled, but he was also excited about this opportunity. Shikuni was being sought by many high-level organizations. Just the information alone would sell for a few million to organizations seeking him out. Look for more, trace his steps back to begin Inner Village. Shikuni is a gold mine right now. Let's use this to uncover his identity. We will first sell his identity out for cash before sending mercenaries to cripple him. Even if he is from a big clan, he cannot escape the big corporations on his tail, and he will still be able to play the game even if he is crippled, not affecting his market value. Revenge and money both will be realized together. The verdict was given. Rudra was neck deep in shit now. It is a race against time with them closing in on his real identity. Although Rudra had never divulged his identity yet, with his appearance same as real life, someone somewhere or some face recognition software will smoke him out. Rudra had worn a helmet during the incident, hence only parts of his face were exposed, but if someone were to trace his steps back to beginner village as one uncovered more and more of his face, they would slowly but surely have a full face reveal, and it would be only a matter of time before he would be exposed then. At the Rajput Manor, Rudra's family home. Rudra was seated along with his full family on the dining table sipping afternoon tea, thinking about ways to break the news to them. And he started with the most emotional reason he could come up with. Chapter 22, Real-World Problems. Rudra started the conversation extremely cautiously. Mom, did you consult a doctor? He asked. Her mom smiled. She was moved how much her son cared for her. Yes, I did go to a doctor. I only need some costly medicine, as it is not spread too much yet. No surgery is required. His mom smiled. Maybe the family would not use all of the 25 million his son gave her. Rudra was glad that her mom would not need to undergo surgery, but he needed her poor health as an excuse to move her to country J. What to do? He smiled. Plan A had failed. He wanted to bullshit his way that he found an excellent doctor in country J where he wanted to take mom for treatment, but he could not do it anymore, could he? So on to plan B. Trick dad into thinking it is his idea to move. Dad, don't you think mom is too stressed here in this manner? She needs to take care of her health. She can stop working so hard now, no? Rudra asked. Yes, absolutely. Foretold her many times to hire a maid, but your mom is scared the neighbors will soon start to envy us and try harm little Max. Little Max looked up innocently at his father, his face showing he understood nothing. He blinked, looking blank. Rudra's heart melted. Noon harms my little brother, he said firmly in his mind. It was sad to feel so unsafe in one's own locality, but in 2100 a maid was a luxury only available to the uber-rich. If someone from the Rajput Manor had one, the people around them will go green with envy. But this was exactly what Rudra was hoping for. He banged his hand on the table. Everyone was startled. "I'm sick of living in such a locality where we can't even feel safe, Dad. So what, we came from common bayground and succeeded, will they all drag us back down again?" His father was caught off guard by his son's flurry, but still being the alpha of this house, he said, "If you want us to move, earn enough money to buy a mansion in a safe locality, we'll talk then," his father said. "Booyah," thought Rudra. He said, "Actually, Dad, I have applied for a house in Country J." "Country J? Why Country J? If I did not know better, you would say you applied for a mansion in the Upside." His father laughed and joked. His mom laughed too. Upside was world-famous residential scheme. Even the most basic manors costed $200 million. It was told to be the safest area for the uber-rich locality with best privacy. A mansion in Upside was something they never even dared to dream about. "I did apply for a mansion in the Upside," said Rudra. "What? You do know it costs $200 million, right?" asked his mom. "Actually, the basic one costs $200 million, the one I applied for costs $220 million. His dad. His mom. "Max, can we go to Disneyland?" "What? Calm down, Mom, you need to take care of your health," said Rudra. "How do you have $220 million? You don't smuggle drugs, right?" "Dad, I earn my money through bank transfer, not cash. It is legit. I earned it in-game." Rudra said. It was a half-lie, as he did not have cash yet, but he would earn it in-game. "What kind of ridiculous game are you playing to earn so much money? Honey, is it still the same world we live in?" The parents had a million questions, but Rudra was short on time. "Pack everything up, we move out day after," Rudra said that and stormed out, not allowing any more questions. Meanwhile, in-game, the official guilds had started to appear since yesterday. The first 20-man dungeon cleared in Nightmare mode gave a Bronze Guild creation token as a guaranteed drop, with a 5% drop rate for Silver creation token and a 0.001% drop for Gold token. While a lot of Bronze Guilds started to appear, a few big guilds would try to reruns until they finally get their hands on a Silver token. While the true biggest guilds, having hundreds of thousands of members, would send hundreds of adventuring parties to try clear the dungeon until they got their hands on the Gold token. The difference between tokens could not be made up with time. Although a guild functioned as a guild regardless of the grade token used, the benefits of using higher grade were not few. The common points between all tokens included forming a guild with a guild hall in the chosen city, having a guild warehouse, all members of the guild having guild insignia, all members have access to guild chat channel, guild members can participate in guild wars, a airchi system for members, can hire NPC to act as guards, living quarters, and other such generic shit. The Silver token added the benefits. 1. The guild warehouse size was significantly larger and the guild hall looked much grander. The grade of NPC guards that could be hired can be higher and more in number. Silver grade guilds had a blacksmithing and alchemy hall, hence could hire NPC blacksmiths and alchemists. The Gold grade token added the benefits of everything in the Silver token, plus Potionology hall, plus Beast stable, plus better living quarters for guild members as well as special rooms for the upper echelon, plus special auditorium and guild conference room. In the entire game, the only method of obtaining said tokens was from this dungeon only, with a level cap of level 20. There was no other dungeon or boss mob that dropped a guild creation token. Hence, while rerunning the dungeon, one needed to be careful not to cross the level 20 cap, and why the Gold Guild creation token was such a sought-after item forever in the game. In Omega, the penalty of leaving or being kicked from a guild was inability to join another guild for 1 month. It was a heavy penalty. However, there was still one more special class of guild creation tokens, the Platinum class. Only 10 guild creation tokens of Platinum class existed in the game in hands of various organizations and superpowers. One of which was in the hands of Church of Light, the reward Rudra wanted from their warehouse. The Platinum Guild benefits included everything in the Gold token, plus a hall for every lifestyle profession with the best equipment and working conditions, plus Mage Tower, a resident mage can be hired to protect the guild, plus ultra-luxurious living quarters giving EXP buff on logout. This was the best condition, as after Update 1 this feature would be removed from hotels. Plus special features in guild insignia. Plus special guildmaster and vice guildmaster halls. Plus protective barrier. Rudra dreamed of this. His guild of elites deserved nothing less than a platinum token guild. Back in the capital city, virtual world. Rudra woke up to a 80% full experience bar. He smiled. Not all his time logging out was wasted. He had lots of things to do today. Go to the church to turn in the quest for his rewards. Then go to a date with Pink Lotus, and also try sell his platinum to her.